episode of Outcasts to Icons, and as always, if you're enjoying the series, please do drop a like on the video. Now, in our first match in charge of Spartak, we lost 3-1, but it was difficult because obviously we only had a few days to prepare with the tactics, and I only had a chance to prepare one, and I just don't think it was the right one. However, I do think that going forward, that is the right tactic, and I've made a little tiny tweak, and I think it's going to have a huge effect, and it's to do with our fullbacks. I've only tried it in one game, but you can probably guess from the looking at the scores underneath what game that might have been. But we're going to go through the games, obviously. We've had some more injuries, and we've had a couple of players come back, so it's still a little bit iffy on that one. We really do need to work on fitness, but I'll use my, since we're a professional club, I'll use my sort of usual fitness training over the break so that we can try and get some more fitness levels back up, because it's not too bad now, but we still need to improve that quite considerably. So after that poor performance, we went out with a home game, and home games are very, very crucial to us, especially at this stage, and I thought we played incredibly well. Obviously, we went back to our sort of 4-1-4-1 for this one, because they were playing a sort of, what was it they were playing? I can't even bloody remember. I think they were playing like one of the sort of V formation with the sort of back four and then the, and we got off to a flyer, frankly. Tungashbayev put us in front after just 9 minutes, and that's, 2-2 for him for me. I was really happy with this performance. But then Kenji Sariev made it 2-0 a few minutes later, and suddenly things were superb. Then things got even better for us as Alexei Kayumov from the penalty spot making it. I don't think I've set up penalty takers. That's something I really do need to look at, because we don't want crap players taking penalties. But yeah, managed to make it 3-0 before half time, and I was in just lovely stuff. We kind of took our foot off the gas a little bit in the second half, but we'd had a lot of shots in this game. Artem Bolojchik got one back for Ekibastas, but we went straight back in front. Well, we extended the lead to 4-1 with Dmitry Kotov on 83 minutes. Now, slight issue. I substituted him right after that just because he was actually, I say right after that. I'd already planned to take him off, but then he scored from a corner, so hey. Good stuff. I hate when that happens. I always feel really bad about taking them off when that's happened, but you're not much you can really do about it at this point. They did then finally get a second goal back, which is a little bit of a shame, through Altenbek Saparov, but a 4-2 result is much better. I feel like, I don't know, they only had 3 shots on target and they scored 2 of them, but at least we managed to score 4 times, and that was a bonus. We did, however, lose Ospanov through quite a bad tackle. Well, certainly what it said anyway. It looked like a bad tackle, but no one was really punished for it, which is a shame. And we actually had a press conference afterwards, and all the talk in the press conference was about the tackle, so that was a little bit of a shame. But yeah, again, injury luck not been superb. I think he was okay though. So a 4-2 win. It got us the first win under our tutelage, so to speak. By the way, guys, we're also now studying, I don't know if I said this in the last episode, studying for a Continental C license. The club is loaded, so I felt like we should probably get doing that. I'm trying to do my best with the media, attending all press conferences, answering all questions. I don't know how well that's going so far. We'll have a look in a bit. Next up was away at Astana 64. Now, we lost at home to them in one of the games before we actually took over. And I have to say, I was a little disappointed that we didn't do better in this game. We played our same system, and, well, look at the amount of ball we had in this one. 16 shots, 5 on target. We took the lead through Marjanovic, who I'm not entirely sure whether I'm going to keep him or not. He does seem to play well, but I do want to try and bring in some younger players, and I'm going to try and ship out some of the older sort of 30 plus players to try and bring in some young talents to try and keep ourselves going. We've got the scouts going around, but they're not finding, well, they found a few players, but obviously we've got a foreign player limit, so we do have to be careful. That reminds me, we've got a maximum of 3 scouts. We currently have 2. So I went in, basically, and it was suggested in my backroom staff meetings to have a look at this scout. So I had a look at the scout. I approached him, thought, right, excellent. If we get a 3rd scout, that'd be useful, because then we can have 1 scouting next opposition, 1 doing my usual scouting stuff that I like to do, and 1 to scout inside the country to try and find us some of the best domestic talent, which is going to be crucial going forward with that domestic player rule. Then, when it came to sign the guy, the board blocked it, even though we were allowed 3 scouts. And apparently, because I'd said that we wouldn't change the backroom stuff, that means I can't hire anyone. Now, I thought that meant you can't fire anyone, you can't just get rid of them or replace them, but I've got loads of open slots in my staff and I'm not allowed to fill it, which is fucking stupid. So I can't bring in any more scouts, even if I don't get rid of any, so why bother having a maximum amount of scouts if I'm not allowed to bring any more in? So that's a little bit annoying. And the other thing is, coming back again to the stupid way that these player interactions work this year, Tungashbayev got his first cap for his country, which was fantastic. So, you always get the chance to speak to them. So I spoke to him, and even those conversations don't go well I mean, I don't think I get that many international call-ups in this save so far. I think I'm one of the first ones. So, yeah, apparently I was being patronising by saying it's good that you've got an international call-up. You cannot win. I've literally, seriously, not had a single conversation with a player that didn't end with them getting pissed at me. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, in this game, Marjanovic gave us the lead, but unfortunately, Alexander Badorenko, just after half-time, made it 1-1, and we just couldn't seem to get back in front. We had some chances, but it just wasn't quite happening for us, which was a real shame. But a point on the road isn't bad, considering we lost the last game 3-1, so I felt that it wasn't a bad result. And, but that being said, I didn't want to get back into the habit that we were at with Zurich, where we were drawing so many games. It's nice to get a few draws, and away from home, they're sometimes useful, but I didn't want to get into, too many of them, and as you can see, I thought we were about to start into another one of these runs when we played Taraz at home. But I'm putting this down to mainly the fact that the injuries didn't help us. As you can see, we were very, very good. They had one shot on target. Ashkat Tajiberjan gave them the lead on 8 minutes with their only shot on target of the match. It took us a penalty when Viktor Dimitrenko scored the penalty for us, but unfortunately, Erkabulin Tugishbayev was injured, and he is out for 3 months now with strained knee ligaments. I mean, we won the penalty in the act of it, but it didn't exactly make up for the fact that we've just lost our best striker for the rest of the season. And I felt that it kind of made a difference to the rest of this game. And then, of course, in the second half, Dimitrenko had to go off injured as well. So we were just in all kinds of trouble. And I think that was the main hindrance. I feel like if maybe we'd kept him on the pitch, and he wasn't badly injured during that tackle, we potentially should have won this match, basically. But it's positive signs for me. We're creating lots of chances, getting lots of shots, and looking pretty damn good. I want to try and get myself a long shot specialist at some point, because we do get a lot of long shots with this tactic, unfortunately. But unfortunately, that's sometimes just a good way to do it at this kind of level, because the more shots you have, the more goals you seem to score it generally at this level. At the higher levels, that doesn't work quite so well, but down here, it seems to work quite nicely. 3,200 people at the stadium for this game, too, which is nice. Probably the biggest attendances we've had. So yeah, it'd be good to get a long shot specialist, and we need possibly another striker. But I'm hoping that we can sort out the injuries a bit over the break and get more fitness coming, so that should be okay. So I was a little bit worried when those two results came in, but not that it made much difference to our league performances. It was just I wanted to make sure that we weren't getting dragged into some, poor performance. We had one good win, but then the change I made, because I was looking at the tactic, and I don't like using automatic, and I've been using it for a little while because someone suggested it, and I think that I changed the fullbacks from automatic to support so that they've got a clear, decisive role, and I think it's made it a little bit easier for them to understand, and it worked like a charm in this game. And it wasn't as if we played all that well in this one. I mean, Urtish were poor, let's make no mistake, and they still played 4-3-3 against us in this one, just as they did in the away game when we played there, which was surprising. But the difference in this match was we still played with our 4-1-4-1, and it just seemed to work. It took to the second half to really break them down. But Nikolai, obviously we had to play, not a weakened team, but there was a lot of players out injured, unfortunately. But Julgarov put us in front of 52 minutes, and I was happy because I thought a win here gives us a nice little buffer going into that final game, and we can be happy. But then not long after that, Kokolov made it 2, and that was brilliant. 6 minutes later, Iagonov made it 3, and we seemed to be getting these blitz goals, which was fantastic as well. It was also nice because Serik Anuakanov came off the bench, or did he? Yes, he did, what we're talking about. He came off the bench, he's very, very young, and he scored on his debut for us, so 4-0. Lovely. That's a better result. We need more results like that next season. And if we keep playing like this and tweaking this system, I think next season we can definitely do well, basically. So that makes me very, very happy. So that's basically how things are going. This is how the league looks at the moment. We are 8th at the moment. Ashtana have gone on a really good run and won a few matches. So we've dropped 1 place, but we are going to finish in the minimum of 8th. I'd like to think that with Astana playing away today, they are playing the bottom club though, so it does seem a little unlikely that we're going to be able to finish above them. But you just never know, what with us being away from home against the team directly below us as well. But we can't finish below them, and that's the key. So take a little look at the squad, although I must say not much is going to have really changed since, because it's all kind of, there we go. Overall, wait, no, what am I doing? I want that one, don't I? Yeah, good. Top goal scorer is, of course, Tungush Bayev, but he's going to be missing for the rest of the season. Assists is Pev, man of the match. Marjanovic, no big surprise there. I might actually give him an extension of the contract. I'm not sure yet. I'll have to see what my scouts reckon. Kokolov's got the best average rating, but he's not played enough for me to really consider that. Key aerial challenges, Kotov's done well. Key passes, Marjanovic, I don't know, with that amount of key passes, that he could be useful to keep around, actually. Key tackles, Dimitrenko, 16. Interceptions, 125 for Kotov. And, of course, value is Dimitrenko at 200,000. That's not bad. He's 28 years old. I think he's Uzbeki. not Uzbeki, Kazakhstani. Yes, he is. Sorry, apologies. I don't know what the FA's logo looked like. He's a decent player. And still, 200,000 is like... then again, he's one of our most well-paid players, and he's got another 2 years on his contract, so no big deal there. So, without further ado, let's get into the game. There's no, obviously, signings or anything. I'm looking at players. Ooh, okay, that's an interesting tactic. That could actually play into our hands if we get things right. So, basically... this is the tactic that we're using. It's basically the same, except I'm using fullbacks on support. That's the only change I've made to it. We're still on control. Everything else is still the same. As for injuries, as you can see, so Duisen's still injured. Logvinenko's still injured. Obviously, Tungishbayev is out. And a couple more players that you've yet to even see yet. Ospanov isn't quite back yet, which is a shame. So again, there's still lots of under-21 players playing in this team. But hey, some of them look like they've got something about them. The likes of sort of Kotov, he's not bad for an under-21 player. Fedorov is the same. You know, we've got a decent team. And look at the bench, so many of them. So I'm happy. Obviously, we've got the youngster up top, 19 years old, but he's done a good job for us, and he looks like he has a bright future. But again, we'd like to have some of our first choice strikers back. That would be just delightful. But we're going to get into this game. We're away from home. We're just going to give it our best shot, basically. Like, we've looked better now that we've changed to the supporting fullbacks. That's the one change I've made that I feel more confident about. Still haven't been able to figure this out, though, unfortunately. Literally, I tried everything to get that back, and it just will not come back. We're a professional team. I've got my scout set to opposition. I don't know. Let's do this. I don't know. I just want to see a good performance out of the lads tonight. You know, it's not a big deal, but if we can win, then it gives us a chance of finishing 7th, which is, well, literally the best we could physically do. Although, when you look at the points tally that we've got 46 points, which is way more than we've got 10 more points than the team directly in 6th place. Like, that's insane. But what can you do? We've started off quite strongly here, which is good to see. Well, we've had a shot, and that'll do me. Actually, we do look like the better team so far, which is nice to see. They're having more shots from range. Dimitrenko. And we've got a weakened team. When you look at the amount of injuries we've got. Oh, drop to the... Marjanovic, go on, have a shot. Oh, not quite. Go on. Oh, if Kotov had closed that down, we might have had a chance to keep the play going. Oh, we need to make some tackles. I might need to look at the sort of defensive aspects of this system a little bit more in detail. Don't foul him, don't foul him, don't foul him. That's surely too deep. Oh, what a block. Bad defending initially, but the block in the end was quality, so well done, guys, for that one. Okay, insta highlight again. Go on, win a header. There's so many players in the box, that's incredible. Kotov again. Oh, that's poor, he's been sold a dummy there, and Dimitrenko will clear it. Marjanovic just doesn't have the pace to get out and close that down properly. They're getting a little bit of a head of steam up now. We can't let them in behind too much. That's poor, he's allowed him through. Great save again. Oh! They've really stepped it up in the last couple of minutes there. 3 clear-cut chances in literally less than a minute. I thought the chance had gone, but Shatsky, which is a fantastic name, in goal there. Ah, damn it. That's disappointing. We started off okay, but they've really come into this now. What do we do? Unfortunately, with having to change clubs all the time, we always lose track of what works and what doesn't. I very nearly thought the defender had actually managed to make a block there, but he didn't. Which is a shame. I just want to win a live com. Even though it's a meaningless game, I just want to win them. We're going to have to go a little bit more attacking at this point, because we're a goal down, so let's just try and push forward. I'm going to take a really in-depth look at our tactic over the summer. There's that second... I keep saying summer. Oh, bloody hell. I'd just like to have some players back fit. You know, we are literally bare bones. But then we've always seemed to struggle with that. The thing is, we had injury problems when I joined the club. That's the problem. It wasn't even a case of... we came in and we already had half the team injured. But I suppose, that might have been why the previous manager got the sack in the end, I guess. But, what can we change at half-time? I'm just thinking, like, this works so well. I suppose it's because it's, we're away from home. Things are slightly different. Don't know why Piev's getting pissed, but we'll just try to cheer him up a little bit. Oh, no, okay, he wasn't up for that one. Let's take a little look. What can we do? I don't know, I just never quite understand what we should be trying here. We've got a lot of attack. Maybe put the advanced playmaker on support? Or maybe both midfielders on attack. But would a ball in midfielder even want to... No, of course you can't play on attack. What am I talking about? I don't know, it's just... Maybe we should change this a little bit. More direct passing. Lower tempo, that's useful for those kind of situations. Let's turn off shoot on sight and just try working the ball a little bit more. It's worth giving it a crack, you know. We might get less shots, but we might have a chance of creating a better opportunity. Dimitrenko, Marjanovic. Like, sometimes you've got to change things, basically. I mean, it might have worked well in the last game, but that was at home, and, things change. Oh, excellent. Another injury. That's perfect. I was just looking for one of those. Oh, Jesus. It makes it so damn difficult. Right, we're going to have to really take a little in-depth look at who can even come on in this position. Kayamov's basically the one. And he's not exactly going to be fluid in that position, is he? Can I put... Will Piev play in the... Yeah, okay, that's fine. We'll put Piev in the middle. Kayamov out on the right. That's 2 injuries already. Bear in mind, we've got our training on low intensity to try and prevent any kind of injuries, just to try and... Oh, come on! It's right there! Bloody hell. Doesn't help that we've literally got no players now. That's 2 more injuries. I don't know. What is it? We've got like an injury curse, but particularly here... Well done, guy on the line. Just get out of the way. You know, that's fine. It's not like you're there to stop the ball getting over the line or anything. Oh, God, no. Wouldn't dream of asking you to do that. Now we're going back on Sean's side. We're going to take some more risks and push higher up and just try to get back into this game a little bit. It's the last game of the season. We're still trying things. I still think that, I mean, they've created better chances than us. Make no mistake about that. But admittedly, all 3 of those seem to come in the same play. So I'm still a little bit disappointed in our... Like, we've had a lot of shots there, and not all of them were long shots, clearly, but some of them were, and I feel like we've all been a bit all bark, no bite today. So disappointing performance in terms of in front of goal, but I'm just putting that down to the fact that we don't have the quality in those areas at the moment. I think the team's still creating... performance wasn't good. But, that being said, with those having to put the younger players into those positions, they don't have the composure and the sort of those kind of stats. We still created lots of shots like we usually do, but we were a little bit more complacent at the back and didn't quite have the quality to put the ball in the net as much. But, hey, 8th place, you know, that being said, because of my little worry with the whole expectations thing, they'll probably turn around and sack me now or something like that. That would be kind of shit. But, doesn't matter. We've won a couple of games so far. We've won 2, drawn 2, lost 2. It's a reasonable record. That's 8 points from 6 games in charge. We need to do better than that next season. But for now, if we can get everybody fit, I'll feel more confident. So, in the next episode, basically, guys, I'm going to go do the transfer window, which is going to take pissing ages, and that's another transfer window episode I'm going to have to do. Christ. These are taking ages because the database seems to be going very slow. I don't know whether, like, there was a hotfix put out for FM, and it buggered up my game cache, and I had to verify it again, and that messed up a lot of stuff. And FM seems to be running really slowly, like even slower than usual. I know obviously I've got a huge database, but this database was running much faster before this update, and I don't know if anyone else has noticed any sort of slowdown in there, sort of, not the gameplay itself, but like the progressing from day to day seemed to take a lot longer, but who knows. So guys, if you like what you've seen, please do drop a like on the video, and if you'd like to even more than that, please subscribe to my channel for more Red Star and Outcast icons in your inbox every single day at 5:30 and 8 o'clock, and I will see you guys in the next episode where hopefully we can come up with a new, stronger team and a stronger outlook and actually piss and wing a game. Right, I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.